talk
it's no
about
problem, I just wanted to. Interesting. Okay, will we reconvene?
it. We will. So, we had our walkthrough, now we're gonna go to capital projects.
So we talked about the pressure tank boiler room. You know, it's funny, I talked with Dennis Burns after you guys were grabbing the 5 feet, and I said, why didn't we ever get a bid on our control system for that other boiler? And he said, well, you know, John, we'd asked for a bid on it. He said, I'm sure they have the proposal all written up. So I said, well, we never included it in our capital projects. So it's something he's gonna be checking into for us, because it was something that we'd asked for, I believe, 6 or 8 months ago, and we're in the middle of all of our problems.
It worries me though that they can't guarantee that the controller is gonna fix the problem.
And I think that's what's made us hesitant.
Yeah, I mean, you think we would wanna know what is the problem, how we're gonna prevent it, you know?
And I think that's, we have learned from, you know, from Comfort Systems USA or Johnson Controls, both are very reputable, sound firms that do good work. But we've learned with both companies, when it comes to that older technology and those boilers, a lot of it is trial and test and error. You know, problem solving until you get it right. And I will say this about Dennis Burns. Dennis Burns is a good technician. He problem solves a lot of things for the district, and he will be there with their technicians, and he'll ask the right questions a lot of time. He'll see if issue going in a certain direction and ask that question that is helpful to their technicians that are working on the systems. Temprite has very good technicians that are very familiar with our equipment and have done very good work. On the water system tank, their bid was $10,000 under the next guy, and I would go with Temprite, not just because of price, but because of the workmanship that they have proven to do on our boiler system and control system. The awning cover over the lower elementary, you know, whether it's a sign, I don't know what you call that, Art Deco deal that's down there. But it's problematic. It's an area that, you know, we need to figure out what we're gonna do with that. On the pressure tank, we're right around $15,000 is what the bid is. For the awning cover on the lower elementary and that sign, I'm not sure what the pricing would be on that. But we plan on getting that pricing here in the next couple of days. Roof repairs, we've had Guerrero Roofing that has done a lot of the roofing for the school district in the past few years. He's done good work for us. Anything that he does work on seems to be solved. We don't have recurring issues. And like I said, he's talking about a $46,000 project where the trenches between the Quonset hut style shaped roof, each of those trenches need to be replaced out. He's talking about ripping out all that material and putting in new material in there. Especially this hallway here, this roof leaks. If you look at the Freedom Shrine, you can see some of the plaques on the Freedom Shrine are bubbled from the water that's ran down the walls. And that's a really problematic area. He's talking about fixing that. There's a roof right here, a big flat area roof here that he's talking about replacing also.
Talking about replacing with the same like and kind, or something better or different?
Same like and kind. I talked a little bit to him about that. He said that there's what's up there currently is more of a PVC typed material, a good solid material. He said they have come out with more of a rubberized grade material that is more commonly used now. He said there would be problems with him trying to tie in the PVC to the rubberized material. There would be a seam there that would be problematic. And so his recommendation was stay with the same material. He says it's good. They'll warranty it, and it'll work, and it'll have a lifespan on it of 30 years. And so, you know.
How long will they want you?
I am not sure on the warranty. I'd have to ask him. I can't recall the specifics of the warranty on it.
So the 46,000, you said 46, right? That would be mostly just for the trenches or?
Well, you get these trenches here, you get the repairs on the lower elementary, that there'd be some repairs down there, and you get this big area, this roof here, this hallway here, and then in front of the high school doorway there, all the way down to the complex area down there. Then there's a great big area over the complex, down that hallway that wraps around by the courtyard. None of that would be done, that'd be a secondary project in the future.
What about some of the the recoding we talked about out there? Is that something we can talk to them about, or
I could talk to him about it.
is it something we could do?
You know, a lot of,
Parts of
there are some companies that do that and they warranty their work. I have not seen any product that would allow us to do the applique ourselves and have a warranty with it. So that'd be, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure I'd want to take my maintenance guy and entrust him to that. I think we'd probably be having to hire some people on to work with him up there, applying that. His hands are pretty full right now, trying to do some of the projects. Last year, we talked about doing doors in the school. That's his schedule. We've got all the material purchased, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's putting those doors in because the contractor bids on it were so expensive and so difficult to get that we just decided, okay, we'll take this over we'll get the doors here, and over the course of the next couple of summers, he will replace these doors for us that we deemed needing replacement last year. So, his time's spread pretty thin already. So we could take a look at, you know, an applique roof and see what that would do for us. You took a look at the smart board technology. I don't think it's a bad thing for us to try to take some end of the year monies and purchase some of that. We talked about 3 classroom carpets and the entry door. I believe I showed you all 3 classrooms, didn't I? Okay, and then we talked about the fencing along the school district's property between the church and the trail. And the new parking lot material, we talked a little bit about that. Parking lot material, you know, $48,000. And then the last thing is the district office and the sprinkler system around there. And coming down along the front way, we do have, you know, Lolo Peak had stated they thought that a rough estimate of about 3,500. We do have Jim Mapledorm, who's done some watering around here. We could pick up another bid this week if we need to. I'm thinking it'd be right around $4,000 to $6,000 for that. That's including sprinklers, controls and everything, and doing sprinklers on that grass area around the district office.
So, what are our end of the year monies?
The end of the year monies are sitting right at about 3% right now, so we're right at about $200,000.
So these suggestions that we have here, you have the money in the end of the year to basically cover all that?
Yes. And
Awesome.
And the thing is about it, you know, I would like it to be prioritized, because if we did not have the monies, you know, with Julie not being here right now, it kind of puts me in a difficult position of saying absolutely 100%, because, you know, she gave me some numbers, there's been some more purchase orders put in. She is coming in tomorrow for part of a day to try to tie it up for me. It was a day that she would have been here today, but given her circumstances, I couldn't expect her to be here. So, you know, we're looking at the possibility of doing as many of these projects as possible. I would say number 1 priority has to be the water system. Boiler controls being number 2. Roof being number 3.
What did they say the boilers was gonna be?
He said about 2,000 for the control panel plus hours of labor.
Yeah.
He didn't have any guess on hours of
It'd
labor,
probably go
he said
upwards.
hours of labor.
Probably 8 to 10,000, that's what it could possibly be. The awning on the elementary, number 4.
Why do you call that, why would you say that's number 4?
Well, it's just it's a big issue with the drips that are going on. I think it's a health risk, to be honest with you also, because we get a lot of little kids out there when the water's
Does
dirty.
it cool off and cause ice in there?
Yes, it does that also. So it's an issue where, you know, if we didn't do that, we could prioritize it lower and we could take a look at putting some kind of temporary rain gutter system on it. But I will also tell you this, when you get into highly visible areas, there's a lot of people that do not like their school to look trash. And that's just a reality. You want it to look as nice as possible. I would say, those are priorities. Then I would get into the whiteboards. Is the next level, the fencing along the property, district property,
Did you say that was again?
it's about 20,000.
20? That's
Okay, I agree with the fencing along district property, but I think if, in fact, if we were comparing that with getting the parking lot fixed, I would be willing to do the parking lot first and the fencing the next year if possible.
Except, didn't you say the fencing is not just for looks, it's because of the church and
Privacy.
keeping it separate?
No, and I understand that, but how many years have we, that, we're looking at, I mean, the parking lot is just, it's ridiculous.
It's embarrassing when, whether
Yeah.
schools
I mean,
come.
before, we've not had a choice because we're not gonna find $230,000 to have it paid. But if we can in fact use those filings to do it, and of course the weather's right, I mean, hopefully, to get that done right, I think we really need to do that, if at all possible.
Is this, this is new parking lot material though, is that right? This isn't
The
the,
millings.
off the highway?
The millings off the highway.
No, and what we're
Well,
talking about.
we're talking about two sections there. One is 24,000 to do some new pavement,
New pavement?
and about 24,000 to spread some millings.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this won't do the district office,
I know,
you know, this won't do that project, so.
but that one, I think, because if that one ends up being as nice as I think it's gonna be, then, I mean, then the next year, or the year after that, we can do, I think your idea about the parking lot across the street is a great idea. But I really think we need to look at doing something with the parking lot if at all possible.
And the other thing is if we could get a surface on that parking lot where we could paint lines for people to park, we could park 20 more cars in there.
There's just a bazillion reasons to fix it.
Yeah.
Curious, would we need to do the new paving? Because where you're gonna put handicap parking,
Yeah, I
is
think
that
that's-
is it that bad up there? 'Cause that's area doesn't usually get too bad.
It doesn't get a lot of potholes in it,
No, not like the main parking lot.
The big thing about that is that we're looking at trying to grade it. It has a bad slope to it right now. Water's puddle on that sidewalk. We talked about, are we gonna need to put a sump up there, or are we gonna need to grade it? One of the things with the pavement up there is the cost of paving that little section is to grade it so that it runs down into the main parking lot and away from the building.
That is a problem.
And I mean, if you've been out on that sidewalk,
The
you know
ice
what
just
I'm
lays
talking
there,
about.
yeah,
Well,
on the north side.
there's puddles.
It stays for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would just be mine.
And I agree, I definitely agree with Vicki, I think that's, and I think the church would, it's not saying we're not doing it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just a lower, one level lower priority, and I
Right.
agree with that.
Right.
And I think they would understand that
Mhm.
it would be a higher priority next year, but.
Right.
Okay.
So then, what you want is a,
What did we say about the carpet cost on the, replacing those carpets?
I'm not sure where we're gonna be at on that.
Okay, right, so still waiting on that.
You know, I'm waiting on bids on that.
Did we have the whiteboards in this priority list?
mhm.
Yeah.
That was after,
Number 5, he was
Number 5.
hot.
after the awning?
You said they were about,
Mhm.
what, 30?
38,000 is for 12.
It's got it in here. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
So I could try to make sure that all those, and that's gonna leave us with some monies going into the reserves also.
That'd be great. It's-
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.